Hello, my name is Maria Guadalupe Avila. This is the class for Info 5720, Summer 2021. In this presentation, I will explain my process of thought for the Azure model on the lesson for copyright. I want to start with analyze learners. The general characteristics of learners that I picked for my students were that they were 4th graders between the ages 10 and 11, their ethnicity was Hispanic, and the gender was mixed in the library, boys and girls. For the entry competencies, I've designed that my students were able to move through different websites and were able to work and save different Word documents or any type of document. And I plan as part of the instruction to provide my students with an entry test where they can demonstrate what they know about copyright, and this will work as a foundation for me to understand where they are at and what I need to instruct. For the learning differences and needs, I plan to provide students with clarification, monitoring, and providing extra time if needed. And also for my students to demonstrate the comprehension on the copyright topic, I plan on providing my students with 2 options. The first one is for them to write a reflection on Word, or the second one to develop an electronic poster where they implement or write the information that they learned from the copyright presentation and present their conclusion and their learning to their classmates in a presentation. The next part that I have is the state standards and objective. For the ISD standard, I selected students recognize their rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they act and model in ways they are safe, legal, and ethical to see. Students demonstrate an understanding of and respect for the rights and obligations of using and sharing intellectual property. I selected this standard especially for the last part, using and sharing intellectual property, since we're talking about copyright use. Learning objectives. After the copyright presentation, the 4th grade students will prepare a written reflection or electronic poster based on what they learned and presented to the class, meeting the copyright reflection rubric. The rubric will set the expectations for the students for them to know what is expected from them as a final product. The next part that we have is the select strategies and resources. I selected 2 strategies, the educator-centered and student-centered. For the educator-centered strategy, it will be the part where I present the copyright presentation to the class, monitor for student comprehension by asking questions and moving around as the students are working on their final product, and introduce the expectations and rubric to the students before the students start working on their product. Then for the student center is for the students to develop a written reflection or electronic poster to reflect on their learning about copyright and present it to the class. The resources that I will be using for this lesson are the projector, PowerPoint presentation, Canvas program, Word program, the iPads and computers for the students. Now we have utilize resources. So I will preview the resources. I will develop the steps on how to use the Word program and the Canvas program, and develop the steps to create the copyright reflection rubric for the students to use. I will prepare the resources by making sure that the iPads are charged and install the programs if the iPads or computer do not have them available. I will prepare the environment by arranging the seats in order for everyone to be able to see the projection of the presentation. I will close the curtains in the library so that the room is dark enough for everyone to see the presentation, and have a power source available for the students' iPads or computers since they will be using them. The way that I will prepare my learners would be by introducing the copyright lesson, reviewing the objectives with them, I will probably make them read them so that they process the information. I will provide the instructions on how they will complete the copyright reflection, and I will provide the copyright reflection rubric so that they know what is expected from them and the way that I'm going to grade their final product and presentation. The rubric can be highly beneficial for the students since they know what to do and what to follow. Then we move to the required learner participation. In this particular lesson, the student practice activities with the copyright reflection by writing or developing a poster, by the usage of iPads or computers, developing their technological skills, and by presenting their reflection to their classmates, implementing the communication and presentation skills. I plan to provide my students with feedback with the rubric and also provide written feedback on the back of the page or maybe on the corners, telling them what they did great and where is an area where they can improve. Part of the feedback will also be asking them questions as they are working on the project to monitor truly for their comprehension, and I will also give them the opportunity to look for different resources if they want to add a picture or something else. The way that I'm going to evaluate and revise is by the assessment of learner achievement. I will utilize the copyright reflection rubric to evaluate the students' learning. If they score a 1 on the rubric, the reflection was limited. A number 2 on the reflection, it was satisfactory. Number 3, it was accomplished. And number 4, the reflection was exemplary. So the students truly comprehended the information. For the technology rating skills, it will be the student did not complete the written reflection or electronic poster successfully. And if the student did complete the written reflection or electronic poster as expected, it will be considered that it was a success. For the evaluation of strategies and resources, I will monitor the students' comprehension through questions and observations. I will ask the students why it's crucial to follow the copyright law, and ask students what they liked or disliked about this particular lesson. After gathering all this evaluation, I will revise my lesson and I will analyze the information in the evaluation and address the areas where I need to improve in order for me to develop a better lesson in the future. The following are the resources used for the rubric and for the ISD standards for students. Thank you for listening to my presentation.